Thank you! Thank you! Oh, it's good to be back. Thank you! You're beautiful! Yes, I know I am as well. Thank you!
I have returned! Put down the Dimensionator!
The what?
The Dimensionator! It looks like a gun with a disco ball glued on the front.
Oh, I think that guy has it.
What guy?
That guy.
What? Dr. Nefarious?
Ratchet and Clank! What a wonderful surprise! I didn't expect to see you here. Considering my goons were meant to annihilate you 8 minutes ago.
What? I thought he'd retired.
Says the guy who hasn't turned up in the last 7 reviews.
Hey, I've been busy doing evilly things. You, put down the Dimensionator.
Put down the Dimensionator. Yeah, right. We're going to a dimension where I always win, so you can finally know how it feels.
The dimensions are weakening considerably. How bad is it? Well, it is certainly not good. Great! Where are we? It's me.
To the depths! How many arms you got?
Boy?
We've been boarded! Get off me, ship, foul creature!
This is your fault. Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart follows the latest exploits of our titular heroes in their ongoing quest to destroy every box in the known universe. Only now it's more like every box in the known multiverse. That's a lot of boxes. Ratchet and Clank is a game series about blasting crazy enemies with even crazier guns. And breaking every box you find, obviously. The game can support 4K resolution, but only at 30 frames a second. Frankly, Ratchet and Clank should always be played at 60 frames a second. It's not the kind of game where you feel you need high-end graphics. Speaking of graphics, the environments on various worlds are diverse, colourful and impressive, going ooh and ah, and the landscape never gets old. It does also do ray tracing if you want it to, but again, it's not going for photorealism, is this? It's not so much live action, it's more like an interactive cartoon. The dimension jumping even extends its effects to the grapple, which anywhere else would be a simple thing. But that effect was completely unnecessary. And seriously cool. The guns start off simple. Pistol, shotgun, grenades. It doesn't take long for things to get weird. The Negatron Collider that shoots through enemies. The lightning rod that electrifies groups of enemies. Mr. Fungi. who acts as a combat drone and has a million bad jokes. The topiary sprinkler, which immobilizes swarms of bad guys. Between this and Plants vs Zombies, it's enough to put you off gardening for life. There are some weapons from previous games that I really miss having around. Things like the Tesla spikes, the Groovitron, the Rift Inducer. My standout favourite from the much older games though was always the Infector. Bloody useless at first, but it was awesome when you came up against lots of high level enemies later on. There are some older weapons that have made the jump, things like the Pixelizer, the Buzz Blades, and the Glove of Doom. Way more dangerous than it sounds.
Is the Emperor and engage the lockdown! The elevator is descending.
That better not be the only way into the station.
Reporting in with overwhelming force!
The roster of voice actors is thank goodness still intact. James Arnold Taylor, David Kaye, Armin Shimmerman, who by the way is endlessly entertaining when he's chewing the scenery.
Bring me that lumber!
The Rubion Forge has been destroyed, sir.
What? Get that lumbex! Get that lumbex! Get that lumbex!
And of course, this is the perfect time to bring up newcomer Rivet, voiced by Jennifer Hale.
What have I done?
What have you done?
Who are you?
Someone with a lot of questions. So, then this Dimensionator was stolen by Dr. Nefarious, who used it to bring you here? Now you just have to find your friend, who is also miraculously a Lombax, to save the day.
And get home.
You must seriously think I'm an idiot.
These games have never stood out as a vehicle for storytelling. It's usually straightforward. Bad guys try to conquer galaxy, good guys stop them. The introduction of Rivet, however, opened up a unique opportunity to not only introduce a new character, obviously, but to explore Ratchet from a different angle. She is Ratchet's alternate universe counterpart, after all, but having been through a darker universe where the bad guys won. And it might just be my imagination, but I swear she's given more face time than Ratchet. But it might also be the way I relentlessly comb certain levels for every collectible I could find. It's kind of tough for me to tell. Not that I'm complaining. Rivet, as far as I'm concerned, is a standout of the game. I won't go into details because spoilers, but I love what they've done with her. Rivet and Ratchet are two very different characters. Despite that, however, they share the same abilities and weapons. When one of them gains a new gadget, they both gain the gadget. When one changes the setup of the weapon wheel, they both get updated. When one buys a weapon, they both have it added to their arsenal.
This wasn't what was in my account last time.
Oh, that is because I added our
mutual friend on Nefarious City.
Okay.
At first it was a teensy bit disappointing to have them play identically. Then I realised it meant I wouldn't have to manage 2 entire arsenals at the same time, because that would have been annoying. The game's difficulty is, as always, relatively easy. Enemies do impressively aim ahead of you, forcing you to change direction often, but the bullets they shoot are huge and slow, meaning they're easy to dodge. You take damage quickly, but you won't go down often.
Proximity warning. Hazardous life forms detected. Facility security lockdown engaged.
Don't worry. I designed the security system myself. Except that motion trackers are staying there inside the house. Room. Me. The ceiling. I always forget to look up. What the heck is that thing?
Location unknown. Life form unknown. Protocol destroy.
A gift from my dimension to yours. Now I'm gonna reduce it to scrap metal.
How am I supposed to unlock the secrets of a shattered dimension? And these things keep crashing my mining site!
Prepare for incineration.
If there's one irritation in combat, it's the large number of guns you carry versus the small amount of ammo that can be carried for each. This forces you to change weapons frequently, lest you run out of shots for a particular gun at a crucial moment. You can hot switch between 4, but even that feels like too few. You'll go into the weapon selector way too often, and every time you do, it interrupts the combat. It gets annoying after a while.
This is what she gets for trying to steal what is ours.
Yours?
It'd be a fool's quest to look for the fixer. I shall save ye the trouble.
During certain sequences, you'll be pulled through dimensional rifts, and at first, I thought I was landing in a mere copy of the second location. You know, somewhere smaller and therefore quicker to load in. Just looks like the real deal. No, you're not. When you go through a rift like this, check the map. It's got everything marked on it. And you can grab stuff from that area while you're there, if it's close enough. The entire level is being loaded, by my reckoning, in less than 5 seconds. It's bloody impressive. Well, as long as you haven't played Ghost of Tsushima, I guess. There are little pocket dimensions like this one, and they're little side challenges, but the reward is a piece of armour. Ooh. It's purely cosmetic, but once you've picked up that piece of armour, you get a permanent bonus to your stats, which doesn't disappear if you don't equip the armour. It's well worth rounding all the armour types up. There are tons of collectibles strewn across the galaxy. Raritanium, which isn't all that rare, powers up your guns as they level up.
Oh, my stars! That
Gold bolts! These beauties slowly unlock little extras and cheats as you pick up more and more of them. From simple visual filters for the game and photo modes, through changing the appearance of a melee weapon and your pickups, to eventually infinite health and ammo. In addition to all the Ratchet Rivet stuff, there are some extra sequences that help break up the gunfighting. In a nod to A Crack in Time, I'm sure, Clank gets his own little puzzles. They're absurdly simple, really, but a fun diversion nevertheless.
I am blocked. I think that saw can help clear the path.
I have to write this down because that was incredible, Clank! Only 2 more to go.
And then there's the antivirus program, Glitch, who moves through a 3D circuit board in a mini side quest to stop a virus invasion from another dimension. Which is made even more hilarious by the fact that no one else even notices this is happening. And remember to scavenge all 10 spy bots, because the reward is well worth the effort. The Rhino 8.
The ultimate weapon is here, and it is all thanks to you, honey!
I don't care how many other weapons you have and at what level they are. This is the Rhino. You want it. The game is hugely self-aware at this point in the series as well.
Today my ultimate plan.
How many times have we heard that?
Probably around 80. No, it doesn't matter.
You do need to overcome the temple's elaborate defense system, or as we lovingly call it, the Gauntlet of Trial/Doom.
Oh, I hate /Doom.
Mapped my first dimension today. Pretty standard stuff, except the colors there were so vivid, like, whoa. And there were these creatures. One of them even looked like a Lombax, but he had smaller ears, a mask, and a cane, and I think he was pulling some kind of heist? Whatever it was, it looked cool.
Welcome, oh master of us all. Password, please.
Why do I need a password? I'm the Emperor. How about I obliterate you instead? Ha 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 ha!
And once you've beaten the game, in time-honoured tradition, challenge mode opens up. The bad guys are tougher this time, but your arsenal can be supercharged and bolt collection is easier than ever. Also, if you haven't already, turn infinite ammo on for this part. It's so much fun.
Further aggression will not be tolerated.
And that's the best way to describe this. It's fun. You turn up, you blow stuff up. The things like the dimension jumping, the puzzles, and Rivet, of course, it's all icing on the cake. I'm going to give Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart an 8 out of 10. I was dabbling with a 7 or 8, but for me, Rivet kind of pushed it over the line for me. This is a classic Ratchet and Clank game. It's got all the shooting you could ever want, all the wacky guns, and even the monotony of that is occasionally broken up by something different. It's brilliant. It's definitely not as basic as the game movie tie-in that they did, that was a bit too straightforward for my taste. This is a return to form. So, that's pretty much it for my review. What did you think of my video? Leave a like or dislike down below. What did you think of the game? Leave a comment down below. And if you can't get enough of my irritating voice, you can always subscribe, ring the bell if you want to get notifications, because apparently that's something you have to do. Or if you find me really grating, you can always share me with someone else instead. See you next time. Damn it. I've forgotten something. Forgot to press record. Kinda helps. Oh. There's a reason I don't put that mask on very often. Woo! I need a drink.